we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Kagan and I are sitting out here in one of the enclosures next to a box of non-venomous reptiles. Our good friend Sean Hong and his daughter Reese Hong.
Shout out to Reese.
Hey, Sean, I remembered, buddy, okay? They sent us 2 animals on a breeder loan. A T-positive female and a possible female black dragon. We still have some shuffling to do around here to get enclosures ready, but right now, temporarily, we have this enclosure empty. It's hide box. I pulled the lid off of it. This thing still needs to be cleaned. It needs a heat mat on it, the lid back installed back on it. And I saw that this one has been wired on either side at one point and is missing a chunk. So something has to be done to seal up that corner a little better. Otherwise, what's the point of heating a box if the heat rises and has a way to exit quickly? That won't do very well to heat up an animal. So, and I have to build a brand new hide box for the other enclosure. Initially, we just need to get them out of this shipping box. So we're gonna try and land the black dragon in here. We do have one of the transfer boxes that it can use as a hide box. And in the other enclosure, we flipped over a hide box with no lid on it. So it looks very similar to that. So the animal will have a place to hide. We put clean water in both of the enclosures so they can go for a swim and settle in. The other animal, we will set up its enclosure and move that T-positive to her permanent enclosure. So we'll get that done in this video, probably all today. So we'll turn the camera off for the initial unboxing. We know that one animal got loose in the box. We tried to peek when we picked it up from FedEx, and the black dragon is
right there
at the entrance.
And I was like, oh, we're just gonna shut that.
So we're gonna turn the camera off. We're gonna glove up, get this opened, and hopefully everything goes well.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
You're okay.
That is a stare. So we're gonna just back off and let this animal calmly explore its enclosure. Wow, it is very, very alert to things moving around it.
Nothing like the T-negative.
No, very
That's honed in.
visually aware. I will show you the black dragon just quickly, but I don't want to disturb it because it's in a new enclosure. I want it to settle in, swim, explore in a very non-stressful way. And then we can come and check on them. But really nice size, maybe a 4.5, 5 foot lizard. But I'm not gonna stress it out. I mean, you guys can see it's exploring. I want its experience to be as stressless as possible. It's a whole bunch of new animal smells, a whole bunch of, it's a lot, I'm sure, for an animal that's been kept indoors to walk into this. So we're just gonna let them be and approach calmly this afternoon with proper hide boxes that are ready for the winter. Kagan's got a nice carabiner on the lock, so we know that's secure. And we are currently working on a video to move the T-negative female here, or this T-positive, the male in here. So we'll have the trio of albinos all together. And with this female, we will be able to produce coral albinos, which would be really cool. We're gonna go inside and get lunch and let them settle in. So it's the end of the day. I don't have the hide boxes done like I wanted. I've worked away on them, but it just, like everything, takes longer than I think. We've been out quite a few times. This black dragon is pretty stinking curious. It comes up to us We're gonna try tomorrow to have a good interaction. I'll actually talk about it more with Sean tonight. But it has come up to the door to see us already. Lots of tongue flicks. Yeah, I'm still on the fence if it's a boy or a girl. At certain angles, it looks like it doesn't have those hemipenal bulges. I think Sean said that there are some scars on its back. I'll reconfirm tonight if that wasn't from trying to pair it already with another lizard. That does happen sometimes. You can see it's cautious. Pinky is super curious about it. And it seems quite curious about Pinky as well. It's on the other side of the screen staring it down. And that little head twitching, that could be a female more concerned about its territory. We'll let them be. I have some pieces for the hide box that I need to install tomorrow. I had the heat mat ready to go in. And we're also gonna level off the ground. If we can get into the hide box, I'll weed whack and get some sand in there and get it leveled off. The T positive is laying very relaxed looking, but still, I think, a little more stressed about my presence than the black dragon. If I can not stress it too much. When its legs show that it's relaxed, but you see that there isn't the tongue flicking and everything. Really pretty peaches on its face, really pretty eye. It's halfway through a shed, so it would be nice to see the rest of that shed come off. And when we do the other enclosure, I'm gonna dig it down and skim it with about 3 inches of cypress mulch to keep the surface clean. I do need to build a lay box in it. That's not happening tomorrow, but we're gonna watch as far as cycles with these females, and that'll be an additional video for these. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It only gets down to 72 tonight, so I'm gonna let them use the supplied hide boxes. It has a place to go and hide and be on the earth. It's not gonna rain. I can remove this pillowcase that it used for shipping out of there. And tomorrow I can finish that enclosure, finish its hide box, and we'll get it in there. The latch on there. But then we'll just get mulch all the way over it. It won't grow the grass like I want, but I think it'll keep these albinos cleaner. The sand that I have, I don't think is the solution. So I think I'm just gonna go that route for now. And we'll figure it out later. But right now I need a solution. I want them outside. I want them to be used to their hide boxes and using them so we don't have any issues during winter. All right, it's the next morning. I'm still waiting for an answer back from Sean on the names of these 2 monitors, but I will have that by the end of the video. The black dragon is settling in really nicely, and still a question mark. Male or female? Oh, big yawn. There you go. I now have weed whacked the enclosure. It's cleaned up quite a bit. I have the heated hide box all done with the 2 layers of flaps. My Zoomed habitat heater is inside there and plugged into the timer. So this is good and sealed. There's 2 layers of flaps to get a good seal. I can always go back. Right now it's a little rigid. Once it relaxes from the sun, I will go and trim the sides and everything to get it absolutely moving freely so it gets the best seal. We do need to level this enclosure out, and we'll do that slowly, hopefully today. We'll see how the day goes. I need to work on the hide box and the enclosure for the T positive female. All right, guys, so this is the game plan for this enclosure. I am going to remove the wood because this wood is going to be in the way of the lay box, and I am going to build the lay box and board it up. So I will get that done in this video. Maybe I will even put the mixture in. Why not, and not disturb the animal? I'll get the sand soil mixture. Oh no, I can't, because I don't have the heat mats. That's the problem for me. I will build it, but not put the sand soil mixture in it and block it off. That wood will be removed. Then I will dig this all down 3 inches and top it all off with mulch so the albinos stay cleaner. And then we will design the limbs for this T positives enclosure. All right, Kagan and I are hard at work. And she still has a smile on her face. I had the lathe box built and it's just minus its heat pad, and I still need a notch for where the wire leaves the box right there. For the meantime, these guys are just gonna be with little jumper extension cords to get power, and they'll grab power from the end of row 3. But very soon, in the next 2 weeks, we're filming the video of completing the airlock, and we will race and get the electrical down this line and get the permanent electrical over here for these animals. No more extension cords. So that's gonna be awesome. But while I was working on that, Kagan has been digging the whole enclosure. I've basically been working here. She even got a little bit while I was cutting lumber. She was able to get that area, but she's gotten the whole front of the enclosure down 3 inches, really level. We got a little bit of dirt to scrape away from the plants, and that little section there, we actually ran out. We must have like 30 buckets that have cracks or small holes from mixing the concrete in them. And those are the ones we use for moving the dirt. They're all full right now. So I have another video where I'm completing 2 enclosures. I need to do the hide box slabs. That will free up 8 buckets when I do that. So I'm gonna jump onto this other video, get that done, and free up just enough buckets for Kagan to finish this area. And then we can get the mulch in here. Once the mulch is in here, branches, and then that T positive monitor. All right, I took a short break for lunch and now I'm back out here. I've got the mulch spread out through the bottom of the enclosure. I like the mulch, but I prefer like nice clean grass, and I wish it was that way. Oh, look at this, that mating behavior from the blackthroats. He was trying to mate with her yesterday. That's onyx and sapphire. Promising behavior. We'll see what happens in the days to come. In the meantime, T positive is right on the door. My very next step is to empty out that water, move it into this enclosure over here, and then open that door so that monitor will just curiously come in and check out this enclosure. Then I can close the door. Hopefully that happens soon. I have 2 rats already thawed out to feed these guys and see if we can't have a positive interaction. I mean, already a lot of promising calm behavior. This albino, you see him in kind of freeze mode right now, but while I was working earlier, it was a lot of tongue flicking and walking around, a lot of good behavior. There's a lot going on with onyx hissing and all that right across the hallway. I'm sure that's quite a sight to see if that monitor's never seen it. We'll be back as soon as I can open that door. All right, Kagan and I are going in. And we are walking in on, as Sean said, says is Charlotte if this is a female, and Chuck if it ends up being a male. Charlotte or Chuck? Huh?
Don't talk so loud. What's that? Is that a rat? Ooh, that's a ratty.
Wants it? You want to go do the other monitor and then come back? We also walked over here and both dogs came over here.
Put the dogs up and
we'll come back to Charlotte. She was pretty calm just before. So now we're walking into Sammy, the black dragon's enclosure. Looks like she's gonna eat no problem. While she's eating, they may try to put our hands on her and see if we can't get a soft pet. Or not. We'll just see. There you go. Baby steps. She is quite curious about the hand on her, so this is something we'll take slowly with her.
She traveled really well though.
She sure did. She got loose in the box, as we showed in the beginning of the video. But she got right out and was tongue flicking and exploring. She's settled in really well. And especially, I mean, look at who her neighbors are. Giant black dragons. Sapphire is cranky. We just get close to her, she hisses and reacts. And then big old Onyx, who's up on this shelf as well. That's probably a lot of stimulation. So Sean did say that Sammy laid eggs for him already. So that is a confirmed female. I questioned it a little bit when I first put her in the enclosure. Now it looks female to me looking at it now. But I still question the T positive. I'm gonna wait to see it in a couple other positions. God forbid it's a male. That wouldn't be a good pairing with my male. Lots of positive tongue flicks. Awesome. Thank you, Sean and Reese, for the opportunity to house and care for your animals.
There she goes.
There you go. Very cool. She's pretty curious about it. We'll try eggs again in 2 more days. I think we'll be feeding eggs. All right, we are bringing some eggs. I wish we could say fresh eggs, but winter time, the chickens usually go off of eggs for a while, like 2 months or 3 months. So we had to buy eggs for the first time in a long time, which is horrible.
Oh.
We're giving Sammy some eggs.
I think Sammy likes eggs.
Now you've had some really good interactions with Sammy.
I'm really interested to see what her technique is with the eggs, because every monitor is so different and they're all so quirky about it.
Yeah. No, this looks like she's doing Lily's technique, maybe. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
She probably learned from watching Sean, because from what I understand, Sean eats his eggs whole as well. Oh, very excited for the next one.
Yep.
She's gonna lose some out of her mouth. That's what they do, is they don't swallow it all the way and it's just sitting there in their throat, and they go to eat the next egg and they spill it all out. She's great. So we are going to, I'm gonna let Kagan finish with this next egg, but we are going to move her down the hallway. I know she's in a large enclosure right now, which would be great if we could keep her in that, but we need to move her next to Diesel, our large male black dragon. Now, he is not a friendly monitor, but his babies were great. He's just not handled. He never was really handled. Remember, he came to us with all these injuries and he had to have surgeries and be force-fed and everything, so it was a very traumatic experience for him, and that really set him off. And when I moved him into his enclosure, him and the female black dragon I had at the time, they went right into breeding, and it just became kind of, I don't want to say lost in the collection, but there were so many other animals that I could interact with. He just hasn't gotten that attention, but he's fine as a breeder. In fact, I have had better luck with the shy males, because if there is a bad introduction, meaning the female's not receptive that day and they start fighting, the shy male will, when you walk in, will run and hide, go underwater. It really settles the situation down, whereas a male that is tame or isn't afraid of you or whatever, he will continue probably fighting with that female, and that stuff can get ugly very fast. So I've had better luck with some of the shy males. So we'll move her probably into this enclosure, and we'll have to move Sunny maybe next to Bumblebee, and then move Lily probably into a big enclosure for her, because we probably aren't going to breed Lily. We're just going to keep her as a pet, and she is so social. I would enjoy having her in a big enclosure where I could sit and hang out with Lily more. That would be fun. I think that's it for this one. You know, Sammy's doing good, and Chuck and or Charlotte. It's funny, Kagan and I had the male T negative on the screen, and Charlotte or Chuck? What was it again?
Charlotte or Chuck.
Charlotte or Chuck. The T positive was on the screen, and I was trying to compare the vents to make a positive ID of whether this is a male or a female. Did she eat her mouse? She did. She came back and ate it, and now she's relaxing there. So we can't tell yet. She looks the same. She has a little blood on the base of her tail. She actually pulled the toenail on the screen. Reptiles that are not used to this mesh will sometimes get a toe caught and pull a toenail, and that's what happened with her yesterday. A lot of new monitors will do that once or twice in their first week.
These guys are trained professionals.
Yeah.
They're hanging on the screen behind us.
Yeah, so yeah, there's the two T negatives right there. And we'll wait a little bit longer. Charlotte's head looks female, but the base of the tail looks male.
She and Al were right next to each other earlier on the screen, and we were like, okay, looking at both. They looked really similar.
But Sammy looks the same at the base of the tail, and Sammy has laid eggs before.
Female.
So we're gonna sort this out very soon. We'll figure it out, and so that way we know where to put Chuck or Charlotte with one of these two. One of these two will get paired with this lizard to produce corals, which would be awesome. I believe that's all for this one, guys. Super cool. We cannot thank Sean and Reese Hong enough for letting us care for these animals and have an opportunity to breed them. It means a lot that somebody will, every time this happens, and this has happened a couple times, I'm always in awe that somebody will let me have one of their expensive pets, and not just the monetary value, but the emotional value. Sean said that Reese was very upset that Sammy was being shipped away.
I just sent Sean pictures of Sammy.
Great, yes. And we promise to keep doing so.
Yep.
Everybody, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and please check us out on our other platforms. Help us to monetize those other platforms so we can keep this going. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Look us up. We appreciate you. Until next time.